Hi again, everybody. We're back. Glamour Crafty Brews with Kyle. Monday afternoon here. Everyone's finally drying out in the tri-state. I tell you what, it is the second or third wettest February of all time, with 2 more days to go. The flooding. Before we get to there, I just want to pray for everybody involved, and even a couple of friends of mine from work that had some flooding in their yards and their businesses. It's substantial. I mean, still weeks later, we're above flood stage, the amount of water. So things are starting to recede, but it's still going to be another week. Maybe another weekend, another 3 or 4 days. So, boy, that was bad yesterday. But anyway, we're hoping everybody's drying out and doing better. We're here today. I've got a local brew from a local company. Friend Zach Rogers told me to pick this up. It was $2 for a single can. It's from the Christian Moerlein Brewing Company. This is the Power Stoutage. The Power Stoutage. There you go. You know, my buddy Zach, we talked beer. He's a big stout guy. He said, man, try this one. And I'm not crazy about Moerlein's beer. I don't knock them because, you know, they're all local and they're doing the best they can. I love the OTR from them. Their Oktoberfest is pretty decent, but I think I reviewed one Moerlein beer out of 200. This is 201, by the way, folks. So we're getting 200 category. I did the Thai Shiver, I think, porter last year that was out of season, and it was actually decent. So on this one, a couple of particulars. It is a milk sweet stout, and the beer checks in at 5.7%, typical for a milk stout in that 5 to 7 range. So that's average. The IBUs are 23. I tell you what, a pretty good score on Untappd. A lot of people have liked this beer. 3.81. For Moerlein, that is a 4.81 because most of their beers average around 3.5, so 3.48. So this is above average. It says dark notes of roasted and chocolate malt come together to produce a stout that is rich and dark as the night of a power outage. Blend it in, you will find the presence of raw cocoa and coffee like a jolt of electricity running through the darkness. Rich and warming, this beer is perfect for fireside or candlelight. You won't want the power outage to end. And brewed in can by Christian Moerlein. Looking for a date on the can, I do not see one. Of course, the bottle stamp could be over this, but let's go ahead and get a pour and get it going. Local brewer does some Moerlein glassware. Handy anymore on Lager House. They're trying to get into this, the glassware for these beers. You know, it's a big part of this. Let's go ahead and get a pour. This beer is warmed. It's sat out all day. I've chilled it in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes. I think it is going to be cold, or warm enough. Let's get the pour. Like stout there. It's fairly light. I mean, it's a dark color, but it's not as thick a beer. It's not a thick beer. It is dark, but the color is not thick like most Russian Imperial Stout. And it poured almost like a Coca-Cola. My goodness. And I was not aggressive with that pour at all, folks. Wow. Tell you what. I can already tell you you're getting some tremendous coffee, chocolate notes. I mean, my God. Tremendous amount of coffee right up front on this. Right up front. So, this is actually for Moerlein standards one of their better beers, and Zach does not like Moerlein at all. He likes stouts, milk stouts, and he said this is great. So, if he's liking it, it's probably going to be a damn good beer. Especially, say, because, you know, I tend to not drink a whole lot of Moerlein beers. I said I still like OTR if it's brewed correctly. But as many other local breweries, and I've said it a dozen times, the consistency, and I'm not knocking them. It's hard to brew craft beer. They're doing their best, and they're not doing it intentionally. It's difficult. It's an art, and that's why some are great and some aren't. You can tell. But OTR, when it's brewed right, for me, is an excellent beer. I've drank it 100 times, and about 70 times it's excellent, and 20 or 30 times it's just off. So, yeah, 3 out of 4, you're not going to complain with that. So, let that head settle a bit. I may just leave a little bit in the can, and there it is. Boy, it made nice 2 fingers of that flub. Look at that color. Yeah, I'm not going to get any aroma. I'm already telling you you're getting coffee, chocolate, sweet notes. So, let's thank the brewers at Christian Moerlein for trying their best to keep up with the other local breweries and doing a great job. And thank you, Zach Rogers, for getting this, for recommending this beer. Also, again, hoping everyone's drying out today. We have a dry day tomorrow. A little bit of rain Wednesday, but I don't think it's going to aggravate the flooding enough to where it's going to be a big problem. So, cheers to everybody that's finally drying out in some dry weather. Here we go. Boy, I tell you what. That is a good beer. Very light, but very drinkable. Very good coffee and chocolate flavor. It's a light beer, but the flavors are there. It's a light beer on the finish. But a lot of milk stouts are. With some really good coffee, and there's some really good chocolate, cocoa notes. It's a good beer, folks. I think this is very drinkable. Yeah. And the thing is, I like seeing people's comments on Untappd. Some are saying too coffee, some are saying too light, some are saying not enough coffee, some are just saying it's too thin. I think it's all of those things. I don't think there's too much coffee. I think the coffee's subtle. The chocolate and the coffee are definitely prevalent in this beer. Not a lot of lacing. You see there's some carbonation on this. Oh, wow. Yeah, lovely. Very lovely. Very lovely. Some very good coffee. And this is enough coffee, too. I don't like the brewers that just go ham with the coffee. I like coffee beers. But there are so many brewers that have just added way too much coffee to where it's just a coffee bomb. Kind of like the pumpkin beers where it's just a spice bomb. This is not that at all. Coffee is in the beer. It's perfect. And as far as the chocolate, boy, this is a stout that you could probably drink in the summer. I mean, let's be honest. It's thin. Flavors are prevalent. This could be my favorite Moerlein beer to date. I mean, this is a great beer. I'm gonna say it's an A beer. I'm not gonna quite say A plus because it is a little thin on the back end. Not saying that's bad because it makes it more drinkable to some people. Most people want a full body craft beer. It does finish light, but the coffee and chocolate is prevalent. Smooth, 5.7. You can have 2 or 3, not 1, and be maybe 3 or 4 of these even at 5.7 instead of those 10 or 11s where you have maybe 2 or 1. So. Well done, Christian Moerlein. It's crafted and it's a good beer. So, one more sip here for the road. Oh yeah, A beer. Good job for Moerlein. Hopefully, they can make more beers like this. They're making it. Obviously, I think the Lager House, the food is keeping them around. But hopefully, they make more good beers like this. This is. Will this change your world? Probably not. But would I recommend this for a stout person? Yeah. If you like coffee and chocolate, hey, try this beer. $2. I don't know if I'd buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack, but $2 for an individual can. Worth a shot if you can get it. And I'm sure it's available everywhere locally. Moerlein's carried everywhere. So good job, boys, and cheers. And again, hope everyone continues to dry out, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.